Senior High School On-Air Academy. Unstoppable! To bring you quality education amidst pandemic.
To defer school opening to October 5.
Unstoppable!
Giving you accessible learning platform anytime, anywhere.
Ang klase, whatever form it is.
Comprehensible!
Buckle up and get yourself ready.
I will repeat, and you will do it later on.
Accurate!
The sphere that includes all living things.
Today, we will be talking about rational functions.
Simplify.
This is Jaw speaking. How may I help you?
This is ZED School Radio's Senior High School On-Air Academy.
Good day, my dear Senior High School learners. You're listening to Senior High School Academy's Master Baker. Welcome to episode 1 of Bread and Pastry Production, only here at Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela. I'm Rhea Jane Valle Bernardo, your radio teacher on air. How's my Master's Baker? Did you already apply your learnings in quarter 1? That's good to hear. Indeed, you made baking as your therapy. For this quarter, be prepared as you explore more about baking. Are you ready?
Yay!
Once again, my dear learners, be sure you are in a safe place following IATF protocols because in this time of pandemic, health is our priority.
Yay!
I think you are now ready to taste another sweet learning experience because in our Master Bakers Academy, we live, love, and bake. Now, we are going to learn mouth-watering episodes that will make your senses crave for more sweet tooth pastries as we infuse the sweet aroma of today's lesson. From sifting of the terminologies to mixing mind-blowing assessment, from then on, you will be certified as Master Baker. Before we begin, let's have a short knowledge test. Are you ready? Here is the instruction. Write the letter of the correct answer in your BPP notebook. Can I hear your hooray if you're ready? Alright, number 1. What important ingredient in pastries provides the needed moisture to develop gluten? A. Edible tallow. B. Flour. C. Salt. D. Water. Number 2. What kind of sugar is primarily used in preparing icing? A. Brown sugar. B. Confectioner sugar. C. Granulated sugar. Or D. Refined sugar. Number 3. What basic ingredient in baking improves aroma, flavor, and nutrition in baked products? A. Baking powder. B. Flour. C. Shortening. Or D. Sugar. Number 4. What is the first step to have best results in baking? A. Measure ingredients accurately. B. Memorize the recipe very well. C. Use modern equipment. Or D. Use only important ingredients. Number 5. How many cups are there in 1 gallon? A. 3. B. 5. C. 10. Or D. 16. Now, let's answer. Number 1 is D. Water. Number 2 is B. Confectioner sugar. Number 3 is D. Sugar. Number 4 is A. Measure ingredients accurately. And number 5 is letter D. 16 cups. Let's count the number of checks. Wow! It seems that you have already prior knowledge in the topic we are going to discuss. You are ready to conquer the baking world. But before that, Let's listen to this reminder.
Tayo na, sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na, sa Radyo Eskwela.
Tayo na!
Now that we are in the new normal, let us practice new things. Observe social and physical distancing at all times. Disinfect our things. Let our temperature be checked. Always wash our hands with soap and water. Use hand sanitizers. Avoid crowded places. And always wear your face mask and face shield. Always remember these things because health is wealth. Let us beat COVID-19. A reminder from the Department of Health, Department of Education, and this station.
Tayo na, sa Radyo Eskwela.
Tayo na!
And we're back to Senior High School Academies, Master Baker, and still with your radio teacher, Teacher Rhea. Our topic for today's episode is to select, measure, and weigh required ingredients according to recipe or production requirements and establish standards and procedures. In baking pastries, measuring makes a difference. It is important that the ingredients are measured accurately to get the right consistency and taste. Adding the wrong amount of flour or sugar greatly affects the quality of pastry products. Accurate measurement is one of the important factors that contribute to success in production. Remember, from our knowledge test a while ago, sugar is responsible for the overall appearance and taste of a product. So what will happen if too much sugar has been mixed in dough? Yes, it will greatly affect the appearance and taste. The question is, what ingredient should we consider? First, main ingredient of bread, which is a staple food for most cultures, the flour. We have to sift the flour to remove lumps and scoop it to fill the measuring cup until it overflows. Do not shake the measuring cup, but level off the flour with a spatula or the edge of a knife. This will make an accurate measurement. The second one is the granulated sugar. Unlike flour, granulated sugar need not to be sifted, but you have to scoop some of it until it overflows, then level it using spatula or edge of knife. Bear in mind, do not shake. Third one is measuring brown sugar. Unlike the first two ingredients, you have to spoon and pack the sugar into a measuring cup until the sugar follows the shape of the cup when inverted. When removed, the brown sugar will be molded into the shape of the cup. The next to measure is the liquid ingredients. Guys, can you give me examples of liquid ingredients? Correct. We have water, milk, and oils, and we use a liquid measuring cup. How? First, place the cup on a flat surface and pour the liquid until it reaches the correct line on the measuring cup. Never lift the cup when pouring liquid. Next is you have to read the scale at eye level. The next to measure is the sticky wet ingredients like honey and molasses. How? First, use heated spoon to measure the ingredient. The heat will keep it from adhering, so it slides right off into the mixing bowl, ensuring that you get the full measurement. The next one is how we are going to measure solid fats, like shortening. Fill the measuring cup with the shortening while pressing until it is full. Level the fat with a spatula or the edge of a knife. So, we're done with selecting and measuring ingredients. This time, we move to substitution. Sometimes you may find it necessary to substitute one ingredient for another in a recipe, specifically if the ingredients are out of stock in the market. However, using a different ingredient may change both the taste and texture of your baking, so it is a good idea before substituting to understand the role that ingredients plays in the recipe. So listen carefully as I discuss the different ingredients measured in different amount and measuring tools and its substitute ingredient and its measure to make sure that the pastry product will not be compromised. Ready?
Yay!
1 teaspoon of baking powder is equivalent to 1/4 teaspoon baking soda plus half teaspoon cream of tartar plus 1/4 teaspoon cornstarch. Next is 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda or sodium bicarbonate is equivalent to 2 teaspoon double-acting baking powder, which must be replaced the acidic liquid in recipe with non-acidic liquid. Followed by 1 ounce of chocolate unsweetened is equivalent to 3 tablespoons natural cocoa powder plus 1 tablespoon unsalted butter, vegetable oil, or shortening. Another is 1/2 cup of fats or margarine is equivalent to 1/2 cup salted or unsalted butter. 1 cup of all-purpose flour is equivalent to 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons sifted cake flour. 1 cup of cake flour is equivalent to 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour plus 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. 2 cups of pastry flour is equivalent to 1 1/3 cup all-purpose flour plus 2/3 cup cake flour. 1 cup of honey is equivalent to 3/4 cup light or dark corn syrup plus 1/2 cup granulated white sugar. 1 cup of sour milk or buttermilk is equivalent to 1 tablespoon lemon juice or vinegar plus enough milk to make 1 cup. 1 cup of evaporated milk is equivalent to 1 cup, which is 30% light butter fat, or heavy whipped cream, which is 35% butter fat. 1 cup of molasses is equivalent to 3/4 cup light or dark brown sugar heated to dissolve in 1/4 cup liquid. 1 cup of granulated sugar is equivalent to 1 cup tightly packed light or dark brown sugar. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract is equivalent to 1/2 teaspoon powdered vanilla. 1 envelope of active dry yeast is equivalent to 1 tablespoon fast rising yeast. Did you get everything right? Perfect! It is because baking is an exact science, and measuring ingredients by weight is far more accurate than measuring by volume. For example, a cup of sifted all-purpose flour is equivalent to 4 ounces compared to a cup of sifted bread flour is equivalent to 4 1/4 ounce. See the difference? Exactly. Both are dry ingredients, but there is a difference of 1/4 cup measurement. How about a cup of sifted cake flour? How many ounces is it? Precisely, 3 1/2 ounces. Just like a cup of cocoa powder, lightly spooned, is equivalent to 3 ounces as to a cup of dry milk powder, which is equivalent to 4 3/4 ounce, and finally, a cup of granulated sugar is equivalent to 7 ounces. Again, there is a big difference when measuring dry ingredients by weight compared to measuring by volume. Liquids and dairy such as milk, buttermilk, heavy cream, and sour cream have the exact measurement of a cup of an 8 ounce. Unlike a cup of sweetened condensed milk is equivalent to 10 ounce. It has also big difference when measuring butter and fats when measured by volume. A tablespoon of butter is equivalent to 1/2 ounce. A cup of shortening is equivalent to 6 1/4 ounce, and a cup of olive oil, canola oil, and vegetable oil is equivalent to 7 1/2 ounce. When eggs are being measured, definitely by pieces. But how about the yolks or shelled eggs? Bullseye! 1 large whole egg is equivalent to 1 3/4 ounce compared to 1 tablespoon of large yolk is equivalent to 2/3. Now, let's see if you really listened to our discussion. I will give you a question and write sweet if the statement is correct, and you will write bitter if the statement is wrong. Are you ready? Number 1. Dry measuring cup is used to measure ingredients like milk, oil, or water. What is your answer? Correct. The answer is bitter. It is because we used liquid measuring cup for milk, oil, or water. Number 2. We use bowl in measuring flours and sugar. What is your answer? Awesome! The answer is bitter. It is because we should use dry measuring cups with labels. Number 3. Scooping and leveling off using a spatula is the proper way of measuring the flour. What is your answer? Yes, the correct answer is sweet. That is the proper way of measuring flour or any dry ingredients. Next, number 4. Scoop molasses and put it into the bowl. What is your answer? Definitely, it is bitter. When you are going to measure sticky wet ingredient, we have to use heated spoon so that it will slide easily on the measuring spoon. Number 5. All dry ingredients should be sifted to avoid lumps. What is your answer? Exactly. The answer is bitter because not all ingredients need not to be sifted, just like sugar. Now, let's count the number of your checks. Wow! You did very well. You are now ready for a quiz. But before we proceed, let's have a short recap of what we have discussed for today's episode. What are the ingredients discussed? Correct. There are dry ingredients such as flour and baking powder. We have liquid ingredients such as milk and water. Sticky ingredients such as molasses and honey, and fats such as vegetable. How do we measure or weigh them according to recipe or production requirements and establish standards and procedures? Excellent! We measure or weigh these ingredients using correct measuring cups and spoons. And before we proceed to our much-awaited quiz, let's listen to this reminder, so stay tuned.
Ayun na, ayun na, ayun na, sa Radyo Eskwela. Ayun na, ayun na, ayun na, sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na!
Good day, my friends! Have you heard about the WOW against COVID-19? Let me tell you. WOW is an acronym which stands for W, wash hands, O, observe physical distancing, and W, wear face mask and face shield. I hope you remember it. Let's always practice WOW. A message from the Department of Education, Department of Health, and this station.
Ayun na, sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na!
I am back, and you are still listening to Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela in Senior High School Academy's Master Baker. I am Rhea Jane Valle Bernardo, your radio teacher for this episode. Are you ready and excited? So, here is the instruction. Analyze each statement carefully. Write the letter of the correct answer in your BPP notebook. Number 1. How many cups is equivalent to 1 gallon? Letter A, 3. Letter B, 10. Letter C, 5. Or letter D, 16. Number 2. What is the proper way to measure flour accurately? A. Level off with the use of the tines of a fork. B. Shakes the measuring cup before leveling. C. Shovel the flour. Or D. Sift it before measuring. Number 3. Which of the following is the best substitute for sour milk? A. 1 cup sweet milk plus 1 tablespoon vinegar. B. 1 3/4 cup sweet milk plus 1 tablespoon vinegar. C. 2 cups sweet milk plus 1/2 tablespoon vinegar. Or D. 2/3 cup sweet milk plus 1 tablespoon vinegar. Number 4. What is the best substitute for 1 cup sifted flour? A. 1 cup minus 1 tablespoon sifted all-purpose flour. B. 1 cup minus 2 tablespoons sifted all-purpose flour. C. 1 cup plus tablespoon sifted all-purpose flour. Or D. 1 cup sifted all-purpose flour. Number 5. What is the best step to have better results in baking? A. Measure ingredients accurately. B. Memorize the recipe very well. C. Use modern equipment. Or D. Use only imported ingredients. That's it! Congratulations! We will check your answers on your next episode. For now, to commend you for a job well done, give yourself a round of applause. Your final scores will be sent to you by your teacher. Our episode has come to an end, so for now, you may just put your answer sheets inside your envelope, which would be sent to the school for checking. If you have questions regarding our episode for today, you may just call or text your bread and pastry production teacher in your respective schools. Be sure to tune in on the next episode. Once again, I am your radio teacher with the RBI Productions team, Rhea Jane Valle Bernardo, always reminding you, we learn as one. Walang batang maiiwan sa SDO Isabela.
Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon.
Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang maiiwan.
Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela.
May bagong virus na kumakalat ngayon at naaalarma ang buong nation. Para di daw mahawa, ito ang solusyon. Kaya sundin mabuti tong instructions. Maghugas ng kamay para virus mamatay. Iwasan ding humawak sa iyong mouth, nose at eyes para COVID-19 hindi na makapuksa. Mag-face mask at mag-alcohol maya't maya. Maghugas ng kamay para virus mamatay. Iwasan ding humawak sa iyong mouth, nose at eyes para COVID-19 hindi na makapuksa. Mag-face mask at mag-alcohol maya't maya. Ang virus ay nakamamatay, kaya makinig, wag pasaway. Stay sabay, wag nang gumala kung ayaw mong ikay mahawa. Mag-face mask kung lalabas, mag-vitamin C ng madalas, at umiwas sa mga matatao. Mag-alcohol para sigurado. Maghugas ng kamay para virus mamatay. Iwasan ding humawak sa iyong mouth, nose at eyes para COVID-19 hindi na makapuksa. Mag-face mask at mag-alcohol maya't maya. Maghugas ng kamay para virus mamatay. Iwasan ding humawak sa iyong mouth, nose at eyes para COVID-19 hindi na makapuksa. Mag-face mask at mag-alcohol maya't maya. Maghugas ng kamay para virus mamatay. Iwasan ding humawak sa iyong mouth, nose at eyes para COVID-19 hindi na makapuksa. Mag-face mask at mag-alcohol maya't maya. May bagong virus na kumakalat ngayon